Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new video. Today we're doing another fighter ranking, this time on Leon Edwards. I've already ranked a few UFC fighters, so if you're interested, feel free to check out those videos. I'd say let's not beat around the bush, and just get started. The first category is striking. His boxing is extremely technical and solid, which is why he gets a B+ for it. However, his striking lacks a bit of variety to earn an A. His kicks are also very technical and get a clear A from me. He uses them precisely and effectively to dominate in stand-up fighting. His knees and elbows are very good. He uses them particularly well at the end of the clinch and inflicts the most damage with them. That earns an A. His sense of distance is quite good. He always knows exactly when he can strike and does so. He's also good at judging how far his opponent's strikes can reach, which is why he deserves an A for distance. The timing of his strikes is satisfactory and earns a B. I find his precision truly remarkable and give him an A for it. Taking everything into account, I give Leon Edwards an A for striking. In my opinion, he's very precise and always waits patiently for his opportunity. Furthermore, in my view, he's the most technically skilled stand-up fighter in the entire UFC. Now, let's move on to his grappling. I'd give his wrestling and judo a C+. That's because he takes his opponents down well and skillfully with his foot sweeps. And his takedown defense isn't bad either. The takedowns he sometimes attempts aren't always successful and are often defended against. Still, some of them land. However, I wouldn't call him an elite wrestler since he also gets taken down often, but overall he handles it well, and he can also hold his own against elite wrestlers. His BJJ is really good. He can survive in difficult situations and even escape from them. He's also very good at getting back to his feet once he's been taken down. I'd give his BJJ a B. Overall, his grappling isn't bad at all, so I'll give him a C for that. Let's move on to the two intermediate categories, clinch and ground and pound. His clinch is relatively solid, and what he does very well is throw a powerful elbow when his opponents break the clinch. He's skilled at it, so I'll give him a B+. If we look at his ground and pound, it's pretty good. He can do a lot of damage with his elbows, but his punches are less effective in these situations. He doesn't always manage to create situations where he can land clean, effective ground and pound. I'd give his ground and pound a C because he can do a lot of damage. However, without that power and his ability to create opportunities for ground and pound, I'd probably give him a D. Ultimately, though, he gets a C. The third category is physical abilities. His strength isn't outstanding, but it's not bad either, which is why I'm giving him a C. I find him to be relatively fast, and his punches and kicks remain very fast even at the end of his fights, despite any fatigue. B+. I give his power a C+, his stamina a C+, and his resilience a C+. I find his movement less dynamic, but very clean and technically sound. He also fights in both stances and switches between them very smoothly. He gets an A for movement. Taking everything into account, I would give Leon Edwards a B for physical abilities. Now let's move on to the final category, mental attitude. I'd give his fight IQ a C. His mentality, on the other hand, I'd give a D. That's because he sometimes gets emotional, which then affects his fighting style. When he fought Usman in their second bout, you could see a kind of listlessness in his eyes. He stopped defending a few takedowns and let himself get taken down without putting up a fight. It seemed as though he had accepted his fate. You could also see that his team was supporting him mentally, which helped him pull himself together a bit.
Listen, stop feeling sorry for your well, come on then! What's wrong with you? You're too down, you gotta pull the out of the fire!
Stay sharp.
Come on, Leon, man, you got it, man, come on!
You got this. Sharpshooter, this is the...
In the third fight against Usman, however, he was mentally focused and not so easy to break. He had already defeated Usman once and was convinced he could do it again. Let's move on to his last fight against Carlos Prates. We could see that Carlos spoke to him in the middle of the fight and taunted him a little. Leon let that affect him and stopped fighting with as much focus. Overall, I'd give him a D+ for mental attitude. Now that we've rated all 4 categories, I'll move on to the final fighter ranking. Overall, in my opinion, Leon Edwards is a B-class fighter. Feel free to leave a comment below on how you'd rate Leon Edwards and who you'd like me to evaluate next. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, you can subscribe to this channel anytime. That's it for today. See you next time.